Podcast with Anthony Stevens and Damian Lake.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Through the Lens Podcast. It's episode 118.
That it is. We go over quite a few things today.
Yeah, a bunch of random stuff. I don't even think we can list them here.
We can go over a couple real quick.
Yeah.
We try to answer a question over about 45 minutes.
And we kind of did.
We did, but we got broken up like 6 times. We run through some of our favorite Spider-Mans and favorite pieces of Spider-Man through the movies.
Yep. We talk a little bit about Tom McDonald.
We do. We talk a little bit about ICP.
Fuck ICP, buy my CD.
Yeah, I think you made that joke in the last podcast.
Because it's funny. It's like a simple run.
Little Tech 9. There was something else.
There's a couple political things, not like political like you're thinking probably, but political-esque adjacent.
Yeah. And then
it's just there's a bunch of shit.
yeah, it's all over the place. It's
Yeah.
fun. Enjoy.
He is what? As far as who do you beef with? He beefed with Meek Mill,
Pusha T.
Pusha
Lost.
T, and then there was somebody else he beefed with. Tory Lanez. He won
did?
that one. Yeah, it was a small thing. But
Okay.
So he's 2 for 3. No, 2 for 4.
I was gonna say he's shooting 500 right now. So.
Yeah.
Or batting 500. I guess.
And Kendrick's only been in this beef, I think.
I mean, he kind of started some shit back in the day, but it wasn't like serious. It was more like competition. Like, hey, let's see who can do some
Yeah.
shit with control.
But this is like the first actual beef he's been in, I think,
Yeah,
that I can recall.
like the first one that ever went real that I recall either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And yeah, if he is smart.
Oh, yeah.
So he should drop an album this year.
dude, 100%.
I would. Like, why not?
Oh yeah.
It's been 2 years. Yeah. I think Mr. Morale came out in April of 22.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why it's still sitting on the board.
Probably can't even erase that shit anymore.
Right, you have to like spray it right
It's
over
been
it and then
caked
take
on
it off.
You gotta paint it white. And then That's crazy.
The main way I've found to get rid of it is you go erase marker over the old stuff and then wipe it off. I don't know why it works, but it does.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy. So I did have a question for you. If you were to do something controversial in a movie, what would be your limit?
Like you
as a
mean
director.
like as a director?
Yeah. What would you push people to do?
Real sex? I'm just joking.
But that's been done.
That's been done many times. I don't know. It's so hard to
I know.
answer because like so many things have been done.
Would you ever try to pull a Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder?
I would if it was done. If I could do it right. But
the
even
way it was
then,
done there.
even if I did, I feel like I would get canceled anyway.
I mean, yeah.
I'd have to go to fucking do something I don't want to do, and go to what's his nuts production company to release it.
Oh, Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
the Daily Wire.
Yeah, but I don't know what would be the furthest you would go like to make people do something.
Honestly, I'm not sure. I feel like everything I look at from like good filmmaking, like the OG, like push the limits kind of stuff, you can't really do anymore. So I mean, like a white director having people say the N-word over and over again with Quentin Tarantino. I mean, maybe, especially if you make like a. I'm trying to think of the movie right now. I don't know why. Drawing a blank. American History X style kind of film.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that's to be expected with a film like that.
Well, that's the same thing with Tarantino's movies. Is that the time period that he's making these things, and that's how they talk.
But yeah, it all fits context.
Yeah.
It's not unnecessary just throwing shit around.
Yeah, I feel like if you're like a well-respected director, you could get away with it. Like
Oh, yeah.
obviously, you're still gonna get shit, but it's not gonna do anything to you.
Oh, yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. You couldn't be like a Lord and Miller and probably pull anything like that off. Not that they're not respected. It's just, it's not in their wheelhouse.
They don't have that clout though either
Yeah.
in that same way. What would be the furthest you would go as an actor?
As an actor, this might sound weird. No, I can't even say that truthfully. I was gonna say I'd rather do a gay like sex scene rather than like straight, just because I'd feel like subconsciously like I was betraying my wife, but it's the same way either way, and I
Still a
couldn't-
person.
I wouldn't be able to bring myself to do it. Honestly, it'd be a mental block.
I think at this point where I am at now, I don't think I could do it either.
Yeah,
It's just like, even though it's acting, it's just still feels
yeah,
weird. And unless you were like dating somebody who was also an actor, then it would be easier because you both understand what's going on.
See, I'd still struggle with it because
Would you?
Michael Douglas has it in his contract that he won't kiss anybody on screen. Ever since he married Catherine Zeta-Jones,
That's respectful.
like it's surprising.
I couldn't either.
I would have a. I could not.
Because you have to think, like, you're kissing somebody else.
Yeah.
There's gonna be something there.
Yeah.
Whether it's just inside your head or whatnot, it's still something.
Well, I mean, look at how many relationships have started from people with on-screen romances.
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt.
Zendaya and Tom Holland. How does he feel seeing Zendaya make out with two dudes?
That has to be hard.
You know, and you know he's like outwardly he's like, oh, whatever, but inside
Yeah.
he's like, fuck.
But he still does it on screen too. I think I haven't watched anything.
He also had that gay scene in that show that he was in.
Have you seen that? I know we're spiraling already, but every Spider-Man actor has had like a very similar trajectory. They've all done a movie.
Relationship-wise?
Yeah, they've all done a movie where they played a gay guy and had like a gay love scene.
Oh,
Toby with
yeah.
Tropic Thunder.
Okay, yeah. What did Andrew do? He was gay. I don't recall him being gay in a movie.
Let me look it up real quick. But I remember seeing the meme. It was like it was like all their things they had in common. All dated their co-stars.
Yeah, because Toby dated Kristen Dunst for a little bit. Andrew obviously dated Emma Stone, and then Zendaya's with Tom Holland.
Angels in America.
Angels in America.
Yeah, never watched it, but
Don't recall. And then when was Tom gay? I mean, he had that scene, but I don't think he was gay.
Just that scene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
they've
it
also
was-
all basically kind of done like a gay sex scene. So
Yeah. I think Zendaya and Tom are meant to be for the long haul, though,
Oh,
as
I
opposed
agree.
to the other two.
Let's see if I can find it. Oh. Can't find that damn meme again. Because there was like one more thing they all had in common.
And they all played Spider-Man.
I mean, yeah. There's that. But there was another thing, because that's a given.
They've all played Spider-Man together on the same screen at the same time.
I mean, there's
That's
that.
still a top moment in my life.
Dude,
My life.
that was... I'll still never forgive my wife for that moment. Well, like, as soon as Andrew walked on screen, started tearing up, and then Toby walked in and I started tearing up more, and I was like, are you in the middle of a fucking crowded theater on opening weekend? Are you crying? And I
That
was like,
loud?
shut the fuck up. Yeah, I was like, bro, do you not know volume?
Tact? Do you have any tact?
No, she does not. I love her to death, but no.
Shit, I cried like a baby.
Oh, dude, I got real close to letting the floodgates open, but as soon as she said that, I was like, put
Hold
that
it
shit
back
back
in.
inside.
I let the floodgates open during Guardians 3, though. I'll tell you that much.
I haven't cried at a movie in a while. What's the first movie you remember crying during?
Shit, I don't know.
Butterfly Effect.
You cried during that?
Fuck yeah. That ending
Well, I guess I
fucked
haven't
me
seen
up.
it, so.
Oh, dude. But there's two endings, and they both fucked me up equally at the time.
Like, were they sad or were they, like, so rough that you just cried?
One of them was rough. The other one was fucking sad.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, they're both fucking sad. I wish I could explain it to you, but you need to just watch it.
I started watching it not too long ago, but I fell asleep.
The regular ending is hard enough.
Pause.
The alternate ending is just dark. So
Okay. I'm trying to think like when. Maybe Lady Bird,
Still never seen it.
which was like 2017. I'm sure I cried in a movie before that, but I can't recall. But the last one I cried was Guardians 3.
Okay.
Did you watch that?
Oh, I watched it.
Did you cry?
I teared up. I didn't cry.
You didn't cry. I fucking lost it.
I watch movies with my wife, so I've learned my lesson. So
I cried in front of Kenzie.
my wife like wants me to cry in front of her, and her wanting that makes me want it less. And I'm like, nah.
I've never cried in front of somebody as much as I have in front of. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I feel like comfortable to do that. I don't know.
I've cried in front of my wife 2.5 times,
2.5.
not including movies.
Oh, okay.
The day Kenneth was born,
Well, that's
I bawled
understandable.
like a bitch.
No,
I've
yeah.
never cried that hard in my life.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. That's
And then when Thomas was born, I cried a lot then too.
Mm.
And then our wedding day, I teared up, but I turned around and wiped that shit off. So,
if you had a third kid, you'd be like, okay.
well, yeah, no, I'll still probably cry because that'll be a long journey with adoption. But
Yeah. Yeah, I've yeah, when we watched Guardians 3, I was sitting next to Annalisa, and we were both just like audibly crying. Like it was crazy, especially when he like goes like into the light and he sees his friends and shit.
oh
I was like, fucking.
yeah, that all that stuff like when he was like young really fucked me up.
Oh yeah, that was fucking rough. And then when they finally get out, but then like kills his friends and shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on, man?
That stuff was rough.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever cried at an MCU movie. Ever up until
No,
that point.
definitely not.
Other than No Way Home, that was a happy cry.
Oh yeah, that's completely different.
But I also did cry when Aunt May died, though.
That's fair.
Mainly
and that was
'cause,
the perfect moment for that line to finally come in.
It was mainly Tom's reaction to it that got me. I was like, yeah.
Dude, that was that is my favorite Spider-Man movie at this point. It was
Overall?
it was a great culmination of everything.
Okay.
And you're gonna look at me like I'm weird, but if I'm gonna choose which Spider-Man I go back and watch, it's Andrew.
Really?
Yeah, like
He's probably the funnest
yes.
Spider-Man.
Even though he's the most emo,
Yeah.
I don't know why. I really enjoyed his Spider-Man. I could have done without his mask though. I don't know why it bothered me.
I like the suit and the mask in the second Amazing Spider-Man.
With the eyes on the mask.
I like how
bothered me.
big they were.
See, and now I've been spoiled by Tom Holland's where it's like they actually move.
Yeah.
To where I'm like, all that shit looks corny.
Are you talking about the first Amazing Spider-Man suit?
Yeah, yes.
That one, yeah, I don't like that.
I
The second
hated
one
the
is
eyes.
cool.
Yeah, the second one's much better.
Yeah. Yeah, the first one looked like everyone says it, but it looks like a basketball. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were doing. The movie itself was better than the second one, though.
Who do you think has the first best suit? Or the best first suit?
suit?
Like their not actual Spider-Man suit.
Oh, okay. So Toby has the Sharpie one with the
whole
red
red
burglar
getup.
mask. Yeah. What does Andrew have? He just has the coat. He has a coat over
And,
like
like, a red mask.
beanie, like a ski mask kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then Tom has the goggles.
Yeah. I think that one's my personal
That's
favorite.
my favorite. Then Toby, then Andrew.
I agree.
And then
I feel like Andrews was just super bargain bin lame.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my favorite suit overall out of all those movies, probably the suit in Spider-Man 2. Because it was obviously similar to the first one, but it was more refined and more sleek.
See, and I feel like I would have to go with something from Tom Holland just because he's had like 7.
He had
Probably the black and red one.
the black and red one. Yeah. Oh, okay.
It was that No Way or Far From Home.
Far From Home, yeah. He also had I thought it was lame, but the one where he just looked like he had tactical stuff on.
Actually, I'm lying about which one my favorite is. Very last scene of Spider-Man No Way Home. The comic accurate, like satin blue.
And it's like shiny and like
Dude.
almost like metallic a little bit.
So fucking dope.
Yeah, I wish they would have given them the webs underneath the.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they did in Homecoming, but it was used to fly.
Yeah.
But it kind of been cool if they would use that as just a part of the suit.
Right.
But it was still cool to
I'd be
see.
fine with gliding, but like
Yeah.
the way it was in No Way Home, in Homecoming, I was kind of like, eh. I would like to see that on the current suit.
Yeah, and I think we are getting Spider-Man another one, right?
Yes,
Okay.
they've confirmed it, and I think it's going to be more ground level. I think Punisher and Daredevil are going to be in it.
Yeah, because the Daredevil show is supposed to lead into it, I think.
Yeah, and it's all supposed to have, I think, Kingpin is like the central villain, which is perfect. Like, I don't know how it's been this long without Kingpin as like a central villain for Spider-Man.
No.
It makes no sense. He's like, we've had what, 2 video games?
He
3
was
video
in the last Spider-Man game.
Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
He plays a decent part in Spider-Man 2. Then I think he even has something to do with it in Miles Morales too.
He wasn't in any of the Spider-Man games previous to those, though, I don't think.
OG, like PS1, yes. But
He was in that?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it was also not as big as it could have been, but...
Okay, because I played that on the 64. Oh, it was the red cartridge.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, but, Spider-Man 4 ground level one would be cool. I just only wish that we got a Spider-Man movie in the MCU with just Spider-Man for once, but
That's the downfall to sharing with Sony.
yeah.
Because that's almost like a contractual obligation for them now because they know it'll bring in more. And Sony is so caught up in the money of it where they think that Spider-Man can only do numbers if he's on a team or has multiple cameos.
Yeah.
That's why we've had Homecoming, we had Iron Man.
Far From Home, Iron Man, and Mysterio. Well, he was the
Mysterio.
bad guy, so it didn't count. And was there another hero in there? Nick Fury was in there.
Yeah, Nick Fury and Maria Hill. Which, I don't, you barely count her.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other heroes. And then No Way Home obviously had the other Spider-Man.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange.
Yes.
I could have sworn there was one more.
And Far From Home?
Yeah.
Let me look up let me see.
And there's barely Tony Stark in Far From Home.
Okay, so you got Nick Fury. Happy Hogan was in there. I guess you can count him. I guess that's it.
Really?
Yeah. I could have sworn there was another one too.
So I guess it would be Nick Fury, basically, then.
Yeah. If you even count Mysterio as a bad guy, wouldn't really.
He was... I would say he's a bad guy for sure. But at the same time, it was like that anti-hero kind of like... You understood where he was coming from because he was fucked over. But that's all of Tony Stark's villains. It was nice to have Spider-Man finally fight something that wasn't kind of created by him or the Avengers for
True.
once in Far From Home.
True.
Which is another reason I'm excited for 4.
Would you introduce the symbiote in 4?
I feel like you'd have to with how they left it.
Like towards the end, probably.
Yeah, I feel like that needs to be set up for 5.
5 and 6 have those two be the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And end all this Venom shit. Like, I'm not even looking forward to 3 at this point.
I'm not either. Did you see the name of it?
I did, but I
The
don't
official
remember.
title? It's fucking horrible. I forgot to, but I kind of vaguely remember what it is.
Because Let There Be Carnage was the last one.
Yeah, Venom: The Last Dance.
Oh, and everyone's trying to play off the whole Michael Jordan thing now.
That's exactly what that documentary was called.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even know is Toxin going to be the bad guy in that one? Because he was set up in 2.
I think he's going to be more of like a team up with him, honestly.
Who the fuck's the bad guy?
I have absolutely no clue.
I don't know who else could be a bad guy.
But
in a
they've wasted
Venom movie.
most of their good symbiotes already.
Oh, I had no idea who the fuck Riot was when the first one came out.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they kind of technically already killed off Scream unless they find another way to do that.
They ruined Scream. They fucking ruined Carnage.
I like Woody Harrelson, but I did not like the portrayal.
Well, he was a good actor to get, but...
Oh, yeah. But they should have let him go more natural born killers.
Additionally, Juno Temple has been cast as an undisclosed lead character. There's no really...
Synopsis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I completely forgot about fucking Craven. When did that come out?
Oh, I don't even wanna
I
know.
stopped seeing the trailer for...
I'm kind of wondering if they're letting it silently die.
August 30th. They should be full-blown in promotion right now.
Well, yeah, but dude, and I think we've talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast. Marvel has a legitimate gripe to be able to sue them and get the rights back for Spider-Man and all of Spider-Man's characters.
Oh, we did talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it has so fucked with the Marvel branding. To the point where lay people don't understand the difference.
Yeah, because it's getting harder and harder because not everybody, like the general audience,
Oh, yeah.
is going to watch everything and know that they think everything's connected at this point.
Well, Michael Keaton didn't even fucking understand why he was on set for Morbius. So, like...
You're like, I'm just here to get paid, I guess.
Yeah. He's like, that shit was pointless. So...
That's sad. In a way, I feel bad for the directors they're getting because they're probably not going to get much work after all this.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Has Mark Webb done anything since Amazing Spider-Man?
He did one movie that I heard about, but...
Because before all that, he was just a music video director.
And he directed 500 Days of Summer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He directed the Helena music video, didn't he?
I think so. But when you watch 500 Days of Summer and you watch the Amazing Spider-Man movies, you can tell he's good at the romantic side of things.
Okay.
His first movie was 500 Days of Summer. Then it went straight to Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Gifted, The Only Living Boy in New York, and Snow White, which comes out next year.
Oh, he's directing that?
Oh, shit.
The one with Rachel Ziegler?
Yep.
Wow.
And Gal Gadot.
That movie is going to flop so hard.
You think it is?
Especially with the press it's been getting, and she's been bad-mouthing the original story.
Do you see she turned that shit around, though? She started
Did she?
saying stuff in defense of that movie now.
Well, and it's like,
I'm like,
why are we changing the dwarfs?
aren't they gay now?
No, they're like all disabled people. Like they're all like differently handicapped.
Why do they need to be handicapped?
Because
They weren't handicapped in the fucking...
no, but they're doing it because of fucking Peter Dinklage. Because he's all, when are you guys gonna quit telling that sorry ass story about dwarfs? And then the dude who played Hornswoggle in WWE is like, shut the fuck up! This is the only role you can get as a dwarf. Why are you taking work away from us?
Being too sensitive and shit.
Dude, it's ridiculous. And he can do it because he's so fucking famous and he has enough money, but all these other dwarfs are out of jobs.
Yeah.
Like, that's the bread and butter role for little people.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Like, would you rather him just not have a possibility? Because even Brad Williams, the comedian, was all pissed off about it. He's like, it makes no fucking sense.
No. I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't even midgets at this point.
No, they're not.
Oh, they're not at all?
No, they're not.
They're normal
I think
people.
there's one. And I think he's, like, missing a foot or something.
Isn't that more offensive?
I think so. But...
Like, let me see. Let me see if there's any news on that.
I was like, dude, yeah.
Snow
From what I
White.
heard about it, unless they were talking in satire, which wouldn't surprise me, but
They released an official picture of her as Snow White. It says on October 27, 2023, Disney released a first official picture.
it's not AI.
As well as Bashful, Doc, Dopey, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, and Sneezy. But she confirmed there's a lot of CGI in the film. No shit.
Yeah.
Where's the first picture, motherfucker? Oh, here it is. Oh, they're fucking CG characters.
What?
That's what I'm getting based on this. Yeah. They're fucking CG.
Okay, so they're all
They're
still.
all dwarves, but they're just computer animated.
I'm sorry, that's bullshit.
When you could have just hired actual...
Actors
Yeah.
and been like respectful.
Yeah. What the F?
Dude, how do you do that when you could have Warwick Davis play Doc?
But you still got... I don't get it. Because these are real... These guys look like midgets. Or, no, the second one in the front looks like a midget. Everyone else, I don't know. But I don't know if that's the
Definitely
same...
not the one in the back.
I don't know who the fuck they're supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 people.
If that's actually what they look like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I'm fucking...
But the initial press she did, like, that doomed that movie pretty hard. That's what people are going to remember, because she sounded so bitter.
Disney cancels live action Snow White?
See, I've heard a lot of rumors about that, too. I also heard a rumor that they were replacing her with, what's her name? Chick from Scream. can't think of her name for some fucking reason.
Jenna Ortega?
Yeah, that one.
The one who's in everything now?
Everything, yeah.
This was posted March 6th of this year. That got canceled.
Okay.
But I never don't recall hearing.
Also, I have another question, and I really honestly don't care. But why are they switching the race of a character who the purpose of her last name is because her skin was as white as snow?
Why are they changing the race of the character?
Like, that's why her name is Snow White.
I mean,
I don't care. It is what it is. It's just a fucking movie. But
I think they cast her just because like they're just trying to like capitalize on how big she is right now.
what has she done? What was the, like, she's only done like one big thing, hasn't she?
She was in West Side Story, which got her huge, and then she was in the Hunger Games movie, which was received pretty well.
Was that a movie or a show?
It's a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and then now this. But she just gets a lot of press anyway. But yeah, she is like the next. She reminds me of one of those. She probably was one of those theater kids in high school, like the annoying ones,
She sounds like.
the ones who thought they were better than everyone else. But maybe she is because she's fucking famous. So.
See, and that's why I like Jenna Ortega, because she actually seems like a real person, but she grew up in the industry.
Yeah, she did.
So it's like, it makes no sense.
It makes no sense at all. It's the same with Miranda Cosgrove. She seems like a normal person.
Oh, yeah. Like, I remember listening to her on a podcast. I think it was Josh Peck's podcast, where she basically said that she's never even had, like, gotten drunk.
Yeah, and there's people like giving her shit in the comments. I'm like, why is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
Because she was basically saying you can have fun without being drunk, which
Yeah.
is true.
Which,
Like,
honestly, good for her, especially with everything that's come out about the show she was on.
I'm like, when does it become a bad thing to have a good time while not being on anything? Like, what the fuck?
When that's everything that there is anymore.
Well,
The one thing I will say is, like, a lot of the people I look up to anymore are straight edge. Like, I don't know how that became such a thing. Like,
Straight edge?
yeah, like, especially in the wrestling industry.
yeah,
Like, Triple H, never knew it, but he's straight edge.
yeah.
CM Punk, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, like, it's like a huge culture. Like, Darby Allin, I don't know if you know who he is, but I don't know how he goes straight edge, because he's always like flying off of fucking like ladders and shit. And I'm like, he flew off of a ladder like 2 or 3 months ago onto like real glass, and like his whole back is just covered in blood after he hits the ground. Like, you think you'd need pain meds or something after a while.
Something. Like, straight edge has always been like a big thing, like a well-known thing, at least to me, because like hardcore music and stuff. A lot of hardcore bands are like straight edge.
Oh yeah, was it Black Flag? Henry Rollins?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's straight edge.
Yeah.
Or was straight edge.
He doesn't even perform music anymore. He refuses to.
I don't blame him.
But yeah, it's always been a big thing. And when I started going to like raves and stuff, I never knew. Well, I guess I kind of always knew, but like how easily accessible like chemicals and shit are when you're in those type of settings. It's insane.
I've only been to like one, I don't even know if you can call it a rave. It was like a dubstep concert.
Yeah.
And the amount of people I saw handing shit to each other, and like they're trying to give it to my sister, who I'm like essentially babysitting, is the only reason I was there.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck no, like this shit is insane.
Yeah.
I think we saw Zed's Dead and Cruella. That was a fun show, but
Yeah, it's insane. Like, I always like seen it and been around it here and there, but never to the extent after experiencing all that. I was like, holy shit.
oh yeah,
It's crazy.
stuff's wild.
Yeah. But it's kind of sad at the same time, you know,
Yeah.
that people like feel like they have to be on something in order to have a good time.
It does suck, but I mean, honestly, like, it's also kind of about the people you hang out with, because you don't want to be the only one not doing it and seeing how much fun they're having, or whatever, you know? So it's like, part of it's the people you hang around, and then it's the environment. In certain places, it's what you're supposed to do. So it's like,
Yeah, that's what I've come to find out, and like talking to people that I met who go to the shows and stuff that they're doing, they're like, yeah, it just happens.
Yeah.
You know, if you do that enough, it's gonna happen. You know, so, and yeah, it does.
all you got to do is have like one bad day,
Yeah,
and then you're a little bit more susceptible to stuff like that. Like if you show up to a show and you're pissed off, and you're just like, fuck it, let's go.
yeah,
Like,
Yep.
I could see it being a slippery slope.
it definitely is. Yeah, it's crazy.
So I know we went really far out.
We were really far out.
but neither of us, I really think, answered the question. What's the craziest thing you would do as an actor?
As an actor,
I don't think we really answered for director either, but
it's hard
it's very hard
for
like,
the director part. The actor is a little more easier. But
it's hard to well, okay, as a director, and I know it would get a lot of pushback, but I also would try not to base it off of an actual person. Try to make like a sympathetic serial killer movie.
that's the furthest you would go,
I think that'd be the easiest way to get people pissed off.
or even better yet, make a movie sympathizing with a school shooter.
I'm surprised that hasn't been done.
There was a school shooter movie that was kind of based off of Columbine. It was called Elephant. It was made by, I think it was Gus Van Sant that made it, the guy who directed Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
It's like it takes place in like real time. Like you're following like these various different students as they go along through the day while this thing is gonna happen, kind of thing.
Okay.
But I don't think they show what actually happens. I think it's just all the stuff leading up to it.
Isn't that what that movie, What's Wrong with Kevin, is about?
No, I don't know. I think they actually show shit in that though.
Okay.
That's when Ezra Miller goes crazy in the movie. Yeah. There's also that movie Nitram, with Caleb Landry Jones.
Oh, yeah.
I watched that movie. It's a crazy movie, but they don't show anything. You can like the closest you get is like he has the guns in his car and he pulls up to this place, and the camera is still sitting in the car while he gets out and goes inside, and you can
just hear
hear
it.
the gunshots, and then he comes back, kind of thing. Yeah,
Well, that's the reason they don't have guns in Australia, right?
yeah. They took away all this fucking guns. They haven't had anything happen like that.
The one, so we're not even going to go into it. Never mind.
You were talking about gun control.
It's somewhat.
All right, kids, we're gonna talk about gun control. What song?
No.
What song is that?
Honestly, it just sounds like Eminem's "Hi Kids, Do You Like Violence?"
It was from Triple X by Kendrick.
Oh shit!
When the beat switches,
Fuck.
when he's telling his friend to go kill whoever killed his son, and then he's like, "I'll call you back. I'm about to speak at this convention." And then he's like, "All right, kids, we're gonna talk about gun control." So it was like kind
yeah.
of like ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I understand the idea of like, oh, people want to ban guns, but the places with no guns have like insane amounts of mass stabbings,
Yeah.
which is like,
I would rather get shot than stabbed.
too.
'Cause stabbing just sounds horrible.
It sounds way more painful.
I know, because like I cut myself on accident sometimes. I'm like if you just you just get your finger cut or whatever, and you're like, that fucking hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine getting stabbed.
Canada has more mass stabbings than we have mass shootings. And guns are technically still legal there. So
shit.
it's wild.
It's crazy what you can do with a butter knife when there's that much hate behind it. Well, there's that.
God,
Kenzie
that's
was
dark.
telling me about it. There's this. It really happened. This chick and her boyfriend were like high on meth, and they were like fucking, and he was tied up, and she just snapped and she started cut his dick off and decapitated him and shit like with a butter knife.
I don't know if I told you this story. This is probably about 3 months ago. We'll get back to the thing. But
Were you doing rough sex?
no, not me. Not, not me
You
at all.
don't do rough sex. Yeah, you do.
I'm going to plead the fifth.
That means yes.
So 3 months ago in California,
Yeah.
this girl and this guy she was dating for about somewhere between like 3 and 6 months. They met online. They decided to smoke weed together, and she fucking snaps. Stabs him like
Off of weed?
Yep. Stabs him 67 times.
Holy shit.
Goes to court. 300 hours of community service.
That's it.
Found not guilty by reasons of cannabis-induced psychosis.
I didn't know there was a thing.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Okay.
But the parents of the dude were pissed because they're like, you basically just legalized murder in the state of California.
Holy shit. So you can go to California, get really high, kill somebody, and get off.
Yeah, you don't even need to be honest.
What the fuck?
So
That can't be a real thing. Right?
it's
Cannabis
a ton-
induced.
but it's a true story. I don't know.
I know, yeah, the story is...
I know. So if you have cannabis before the age of 21, it can actually onset schizophrenia in very rare cases.
I was going to say, I guarantee everyone has smoked weed before they were 21.
Most people, yes. But
Yeah.
it's like 0.06% of people.
What is the prevalence of cannabis-induced psychosis? Some individuals could be particularly sensitive to the adverse psychological effects of cannabis, such as young individuals or those with pre-existing mental health vulnerabilities.
Yeah. So
Makes sense. Is that why I feel like really crazy sometimes smoking?
probably, but you don't get violent, I'm sure.
I don't get violent, but I get really like, it's hard to explain.
Like hyper?
Not hyper, just like really like, if it's at the right time, like I'll start feeling super anxious and like kind of like dark.
I can see that. I also think that's just kind of based off of what's on your head.
Okay.
Especially being above a certain age. One other kind of weird side effect with weed that... So if you're on regular medications, it will actually make your meds stop working while the THC is in your system.
Oh, so if you're like on some antidepressants,
Yeah.
or something like that. Oh.
I mean, it's not all the time, but
Yeah.
for certain medications, it will definitely like reverse the effects.
Dang, I haven't taken any antidepressants in a couple years.
Honestly, so like I definitely believe there are certain people that need it, but if you can find a way to get your head right without it and you can be consistent, then awesome, more power to you. It's hard and it's scary.
It's also hard when you just stop doing them. Like,
Yeah.
just
The withdrawals.
stop. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I got off of them when I was 19 and that was a hard week.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But also weed though too helps. Like, if I have like before I smoke, I'll like be thinking about something and it'll be like bothering me, and then I'll smoke and I'll be thinking about the same thing and I'll be like, oh, this makes sense actually. Like, it's
Right.
not bad like I was thinking.
Oh yeah. Honestly, like it can do really good for you in certain situations. And honestly, what you're talking about with like the darkness and stuff, like sometimes that's just anxiety, and it could just be built up, and you can't even be thinking about it. But like it can just creep into your mind after you've smoked, and it happens sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's how it happens sometimes. We're watching a movie and I'll be fine, and then all of a sudden it's like a dramatic switch out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like not thinking about anything. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
That's one of the downfalls that I experienced a lot with weed, where I'm like,
Yeah.
I can be in a really good mood at the start of a high, and then like 20 minutes in, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy how that happens.
Yeah.
Like, there was one time where I got so bad where I was sitting up, then I tried to lay down, and the pillow felt weird, and I couldn't fucking stay still.
Oh yeah.
And I felt like something was in my throat, and I couldn't breathe.
Now let me clear my throat.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
And then I get my head, I'm like, wow, this is never gonna end, kind of thing.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff's not fun.
Yeah. Especially when you get that feeling on shrooms.
I haven't smoked in like 4 months.
What? I started right when you stopped.
Some bullshit. I tried to get you to smoke for I don't know how long.
I know.
I got you to smoke once.
I kind of wish I did.
I got you to smoke once, but we were all drinking.
Oh, I was high as shit that night.
You kept hitting Justice's pin.
Yeah, I'm just like sitting there, like one eye's like going this way, and I'm like,
Oh, it was a good night.
I wish I saw the video I recorded of myself that night.
Oh fuck! I didn't know you
Yeah,
recorded a video.
I was recording myself, and I'm just talking to Justice about like what New Year's is, and it made no sense at all.
Oh,
But we go
fuck.
on that cabin trip though. Would you smoke?
I plead the fifth.
Yes.
You're giving him evidence.
Gives a fuck. So
I mean, yeah, I planned on it.
okay, cool. Because I know you're not gonna do shrooms.
No.
What if?
No.
Just wait. What if I get those shroom chocolates? I'm
No.
telling you, it's literally like I'm just high.
I promised my wife I wouldn't.
Even
And
if it's
I just couldn't.
even
anymore.
if it would just chill you out. That's all it is.
I would be terrified going into it now.
I'm telling you, it literally feels like a more intense weed high. That's all it is.
I'll just stay with me.
And you're just like-
dude, because trust me, I had so much fun on that stuff. But like, fuck.
What if you just needed that one bad one, and then everything is gonna be peachy from then on?
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, but it's not worth the risk.
Oh God,
Dude, yeah.
I'm cool with just smoking too, because when you get high enough, it's
That and Justice doesn't want to do it ever again either.
yeah,
So.
it's pretty much the same as anything else. If you get high enough,
Oh yeah.
pretty much the same as anything else.
Oh yeah. Because don't get me wrong, like some of the most fun I've ever had was on mushrooms. But phew. Making a mushroom trip movie would be fun.
That would be fun. You have the experience, so you could do it from both sides, good and bad.
Yeah, I don't think
You would have more experience with that than me at this point.
I mean, yeah, I went really hard. That
you did. You said you were doing it like every weekend.
yeah, one weekend twice.
That's crazy.
It was, dude. Like, I can't explain how fun it was, but like, they say you're supposed. Like, I didn't experience like the whole ego death thing until the last time. Before that, like, I had the biggest ego while I was on it, and it made no sense to me.
Yeah, what you experienced the last time was definitely ego death.
Yeah. No, I'm no more.
That's what Kendrick told Drake to do, but with ayahuasca.
Yeah, I was listening to that.
Which makes me think Kendrick has done ayahuasca.
With him, it would not surprise me.
Yeah.
Especially with how kind of
probably-
heady some of his stuff is.
He probably did it between Damn and Mr. Morel. Which is why he probably
I believe
exposed
it.
himself on Mr. Morel.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And honestly, with certain artists, you kind of got to do that to kind of find where your like heart wants to take you.
I'm too scared to give myself ego death. I don't know if I can make it through.
I think it's good for you. I have never been happier in the last.
But you have to go through hell.
Yeah, I agree, but
I've already been through hell in real life. Like,
I have
normally.
never been so grateful for everything I have. Like, to where things that would piss me off and I would stew about for like a week and a half take me like 2 hours now.
That's crazy.
Like, I just nothing matters anymore. Like, I'm scared that that's gonna go away one day. But at the same time, I'm just like, if I can keep myself in that mindset of just, I've been doing better at work, like every aspect of my life, my relationship with my wife, my kids is better. I'm able to like keep my cool way easier.
Maybe I do need that. Kenzie got a little upset with me at the show at Red Rocks because I fly off the handle right away. And there was a drunk guy that was walking in front of. I didn't know he was drunk. He was walking in front of us, and he like it looked like he shoved Kenzie, and Kenzie like put her hands up. She's like, "Whoa!" And immediately, without thinking about it, I like fucking went for him, and I was like, I started yelling at him and shit, and she got kind of mad at me. And she's like, "He's just drunk. He just fell into me." And I'm like, "Okay, I didn't know." Like,
My bad. I'm trying to protect my woman.
but yeah, I just fly off the handle really easily. Not even in situations just like that, just normally.
Yeah.
So,
And honestly, like, it's something I would say, at least from my end, I've seen you get better with over time.
yeah.
But I also probably haven't seen a lot of it. So
You haven't. I almost did it when we were making the movie.
I saw it creeping.
I had to like stop myself and like, don't do this because you got people you don't know like that would be embarrassing.
Yeah, no.
So-
It's that's one thing I will say I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
Among other things, like that was one of the big things for me.
That's just so scary. I don't know if I can make it through.
Yeah. It was I felt so weak. It was so powerless. It was crazy.
That's insane. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I had more experience with the chocolates than I do actual shrooms.
Really?
Yeah. And the chocolates are cool because not these ones this time. This time felt like you were just high. But the chocolate we had before that, it literally felt like how you feel while rolling.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would definitely be interesting, but I can't go back on that promise now.
No, you can do other things. No, sure. Weed.
Yeah, I'll do weed.
You know what I'm talking about. Weed.
No, I don't know what you're talking about with the winking. So, okay. We'll go back to it now. This will
back
be a
to
whole
what?
podcast trying to get back to the question. Okay, so
Oh.
as a director, I'd probably try to do the sympathetic school shooter thing, even though I know it wouldn't turn out well. And I don't think I would ever actually make that movie. But I think it could be done with some sort of, like, poise.
Okay. I think I'd probably just be right with you because I can't think of another thing.
Yeah.
But as an actor, did you answer that one? As an
No,
actor?
I haven't answered that one yet.
Okay. The easiest thing to do would be to go to the gay thing. But
I don't even think I could do that.
I could. For an Oscar? For
No.
a chance at an Oscar?
An Oscar doesn't mean that much to me. I'm just being honest. It's just not something I would ever be able to go to. Not that I have anything against gay people. It's one of those things that I have a mental block and I could never do it.
If you were single.
No. I know I made the joke earlier, but I couldn't.
I could.
I couldn't do a scene with a woman now, obviously, but like I couldn't do. I think I would even have a hard time with like a peck to a dude. Maybe a kiss on the cheek like we're in Godfather, or if it was like a scene like Godfather where he's talking to Fredo.
Oh yeah,
You broke my heart.
that's how they got the name for the Alfredo. Fettuccine Alfredo.
Was it Chris Cuomo on CNN? Someone called him Fredo, and he's like, "That's fucking racist." I was like, "What?"
Is it though?
They weren't even talking about it in like the form of like, "Hey, you're Italian." They're like, "Hey, you're a backstabbing asshole."
What's the? I don't want to say it because it's a slur, a racial slur. There is a Italian racial slur that starts with a D.
Are you asking me to say it? Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Because I remember where I worked at the Chico's.
Oh no.
One of the other busters, I forgot who it was. Might have been Angel.
I'm guessing he was talking about VT about that way.
Yeah, he came up to me. He's like, "What does that mean?" And he just like laughs, and he told him. Then he felt bad afterwards.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Oh.
Funny times. Funny times.
I kind of miss that job.
I do too sometimes, but then I also think about how stressful it was. And I'm
Especially like
yeah.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Fuck that place that day.
Well, it was easy for me the second time, my second Valentine's Day, which is the one you were at, because all I had to do was just take food to the tables.
And that's what all I really had to do. I was
Yeah.
with Patty that whole night.
Patty was cool.
Yeah, I liked her. I went and painted her office once.
She let me sleep in her house one time.
I heard you telling me about that.
Yeah. Those were rough times.
A lot of those people were really cool.
Yeah.
So yours would be like a gay sex scene?
Probably, and even then, that's like a kind of an easy thing, though, I feel like, at this point. But it's not really going too far.
Yeah, that's honestly weirdly tame now. I was like, honestly, I think the craziest thing you could do now is almost like pulling Evan Peters.
And do a Dahmer?
Yeah.
Yeah, doing something like that, or playing like a controversial character.
Like something politically divisive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Politically, especially.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think now would be like the time to do like, because if you think about like the past, like when Bill Clinton was in there, George Bush, like artists, like even musical artists, they were pushing like the boundaries, like
Oh,
for
yeah.
real. Like,
Monica Lewinsky filling on his nutsack.
yeah, you got Eminem that was controversial politically.
He's touched on every president but Obama.
Yeah, Marilyn Manson was controversial politically and socially. Like that whole group of artists that were like real artists, like pushing the boundaries. They don't really exist anymore
Oh, yeah.
like that. But this would be the time to do that, though. I feel like.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because even the bands that used to be against that stuff are like for it now.
Yeah.
Like Rage Against the Machine flipped.
Yeah. I'm like, how you gonna?
They're all, take the vaccine.
They're like, fuck you. I won't do what you tell me, and then they're forcing people to do something.
Okay, I'll do what you tell me.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck me.
What was it? Did you ever see that clip when they went on the BBC?
No.
And BBC asked them, they're like, just don't curse or we're gonna have to take the broadcast off. So he does the whole kick up into do what they tell me. And he fucking just starts going, fuck you. And he's all
starts
flipping the
flipping
camera
it,
off,
yeah.
and it's like 30 seconds and they're cut off air.
Yeah. You won't do that now, though.
No, definitely not.
Fucking A. That's retarded.
It's too much time around like-minded people that just like fucks with people's heads.
Yeah.
You got to get out of your circles.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I think political would be honestly probably the most destructive thing you could do as an actor. Oh yeah. Because then only a certain group of people will watch you after. I mean, I'm trying to think. What as a example, like Jim Caviezel with Passion of the Christ.
That guy's crazy.
He's a little, but he's passionate, and I enjoy it. I know we made this joke last time.
do we?
No, but like the only success he's had with a movie since then was last year with The Sound of Freedom, and that was actually a surprising hit.
Did you watch it?
No,
I didn't watch it either.
I heard a bunch of stuff about them like fucking with the theatrical releases.
I don't know if I believe.
I also heard that was probably an inside studio thing to fuck with people, to be like, oh, they don't want you to see it. You never know how it could go, but I've heard multiple like eyewitness accounts of like the movie shut off or it switched to a different movie like a quarter of the way through. But it got a lot more people in the theater to watch it. So they're like, what are they trying to hide?
I think it's more of that, like a marketing ploy than anything else.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just kind of sucks that you're fucking with people's time.
Yeah. Pretty much. Speaking of political, I listened to Tom McDonald's new song, God Mode, and it's not even political.
Really?
It's about... You haven't heard it?
I think we started listening to part of it on the last podcast, but I have not heard it. I don't. Contrary to your belief, I don't listen to Tom McDonald.
Contrary to popular belief.
Unless Ben Shapiro's on it, and I have to watch it for cringe factor.
This song is 9 minutes long, and it's not political at all. It's him basically saying stuff back to like critics and stuff, and like saying shit back to people who say that he came from like a silver spoon or that he's like a industry plant, and then he just basically details his past and what he had to go through to get where he is now, and then basically stuff like that.
So not bad.
No.
Okay.
He's literally talking about how he used to be a drug addict and all this other stuff, and he was broke, and he had to go to like the homeless shelter to get breakfast and food, and then how he's like now like one of the biggest independent artists, and he's the reason why there's like people are getting plaques off of like digital songs and shit like that. And it's basically what it is. And he's kind of flexing in it too, where he's like he's taking the time to flex. He's like, I got 20-something million in the bank and shit like that,
which is crazy because dude was flat broke.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's basically what that song is. It's just him kind of getting like mad and emotional, barking back at critics, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, but listen to it.
I think that's when he's kind of at his best.
Yeah, because the political stuff does get tired after a while. Because like, how many times are you going to say the same thing like over and over?
Well, that's why one of my favorite songs by him, like he mentions a couple of political things, but it's not overtly political in itself. Just talking about how everybody hates me song.
Oh yeah.
Because like, don't get me wrong, it's probably not the best song in the world, but at least it's not, hey, it's just talking about how everybody hates him. It doesn't matter if it's skin color, sexuality, this or that, and people want to label him as like Donald Trump's nephew or some shit.
Let's see. I'm going to play a couple clips from it.
The impact addiction had, how the liquor turned me to a different man. I'm not the kid who was facing in Disneyland. I'm not a perfect Christian, have a sinner's past, but I sobered up, prescriptions hit the trash. Now I'm sitting back with 50 billboard plaques, $20 million and a million fans.
50?
Middle fingers flipping, I can't flip them back. I'm so independent, so they get the message. I've been spitting facts, I'm not a fiction fan. I am the truth, I am the GOAT, I am the proof. You can reach every one of your goals. You can be too drunk, way too high, but it's never too late to have hope. I am the one, I'm gonna preach. You can reach every one of your dreams. You can be up against the whole entire world, and you can beat them if you just believe. They've been saying I'm Illuminati and I'm going to hell.
Trying to go,
Desperately searching for any excuse to explain why I've done what they can't do themselves. The only way they can make sense of my fame is claim I worship Satan and label former alcoholic. Nothing in my wallet. Every doctor said that I was depressed. Should be in a coffin or inside a cardboard box and addicted to meth. I was sleeping on my best friend couch. I was dreaming of a West End house. We was living in a basement, sweet East Side brand. We get out. Motorcycles on the front lawn, bunch of crackheads in the alley. Open up my bedroom window and tell them there's empty bottles they can have. Cops at the door. I couldn't sleep. Making up noodles to eat for a week. I couldn't stomach the food I was making if I wasn't high, so I always had weed. Leaving the crib and the neighbors are tripping. I flip them the bird. I ain't stopping to talk. They leaving us notes on the passenger window because we always park in a whip in a spot. 10 in the morning, we sipping on 40s and taking the hottest Civic up the block. Looking for one of my homies who living on the street because he got addicted to rocks. Waiting in line at church, they giving out food. I would pull up every second Sunday, get some hard-boiled eggs and juice. That was the move. I was a broke boy, then I blew up. I was suicidal, yeah, the mood sucked. Now I've been rich, I done made hits. I've been praying, I don't screw it up. And now
Basically.
That's actually kind of dope.
Yeah, it's
Finally-
essentially what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to see him when he's actually passionate. And, like, don't get me wrong, like, he's made some decent songs, like the political stuff, but, like, it's so much more refreshing to hear someone talk about what's on their heart instead of pandering to what makes you money.
Because he obviously does believe in that stuff, but it does come off as he's pandering to that side to keep that momentum going.
Oh, yeah, because that's what he's built his crowd off of ever since White Boy.
Yeah, he switched. Like,
Oh, yeah.
if you listen to his old songs, he was kind of more progressive than he is now.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, you listening to some of his, like, stories and stuff, talking about, like, how they were running away from, like, the protests during the George Floyd thing and stuff like
Yeah.
that, where he's, like, basically having to carry Nova on his back to, like, get her home because she's having, like, an asthma attack. Like, dude seems like he genuinely, like, has a good heart, especially now that he's, like, clean and stuff. But it does come off somewhat cheesy when he tries to go with that political route. Like, one of my other favorite things that he's ever done was him and the Mac Lethal beef. Like, he had some fucking hard lines. Like, talking about how Mac Lethal's gonna Chris Benoit's family.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
Well, he even talks about it in that song.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. He's talking about how he doesn't want to do another diss track because the last person he did it to got divorced and something else.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I want to keep talking. I'll find that line real
Okay.
quick.
Because, dude, like, I that was one of the few things of his I actually, like, listened to repeatedly. I know people who do listen to Tom McDonald nonstop, but...
You do?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, I know who.
Do you? He's one of them.
Okay.
For sure. I'm talking people I'm related to, too.
Not surprising.
That one definitely is not surprising.
Let's see. I swear he said it in this song. But there's a part where he almost like literally screams on this song.
Oh, fuck.
Let's see. I think it was towards the beginning, but Tom McDonald. Torched.
Honestly, I'm in, like, a real toxic mindset right now. I just want to hear beefs all day.
I want to hear beefs too.
I don't know why they're so fun. Especially when people are libeling each other. Really got to wonder if there's going to be any lawsuits coming out of Kendrick. And
I don't think so.
I can see Drake doing it. Especially if there's no proof of the pedophile stuff.
Oh, here they go. Here we go. Ah! Oh!
Did it run away from you?
Yeah, it did.
Damn.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
In love with beef, they want rappers at war. But I don't care who's coming at me, I swore that I wouldn't do disses no more. The last time I battled the man that I trampled, lost his career and then had a divorce. That wasn't fair, homie got torched. I feel the weight like I'm carrying around a corpse. Still no deal, still no team, still just little old me. Still
Damn.
There's a lot of to.
I will
Look
say
at-
I haven't heard anything from Mac Lethal since then. Actually, one thing.
How are you gonna
He did
lose
a
a?
cipher with ICP.
Oh God.
Yeah.
ICP. How come? Why do you think like mainstream rappers or just rappers in general don't give any respect to ICP? Really? Because they really are like legends if you think about it.
I'd say part of it is the following it has and some of the fan base, and then also probably the level of violence and the fact that it is kind of associated with a gang in itself, even though I don't really believe that it's a gang. I think it's
They won that
fucking
lawsuit
idiots.
though. I thought against the
They,
FBI.
they did, but it didn't stop them from, like, for 10 years classifying them as a gang.
True.
And so it just, they have a bad rep, and in general, like, especially in Detroit, like, Juggalos did a lot of damage for a while.
Because I guess people don't give them credit because if you think about it, even though they are like legendary, like underground, I don't think they've inspired too many rappers.
I think they've inspired a lot
On
of
the grand
rappers,
scheme of
but
things.
not super successful rappers.
No, they've inspired more of like the Tech Nine kind of lane, like those kind of
Yeah,
people.
yeah, your Tex, your Ouija Max, your
Eminem, I
Twisteds.
guess too. He said
Yeah,
that. too.
Eminem, I think would be like probably his highest profile, their highest profile like influence that they've made.
Yeah,
But
but I guess Drake too in a way because he for real listened to them because he was calling out names of songs that aren't popular and shit.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
because
know
he
that.
took a picture of himself wearing a which is the ICP album. He was wearing a top hat and his fingers are like
Ringmaster.
this. Yeah, he was wearing a Ringmaster like hockey jersey.
I hate that I answered that so fast.
Yeah, but he was wearing that jersey, and so Adam22 messaged Drake, and they actually talked about it. And he
Oh,
was
wow.
like, yeah, legit. Listen to ICP. So
That's surprising.
yeah,
Dude, I went on such a big streak with them for so long. Like, I loved ICP. I mean, I still love them.
I only did because of Justice growing up with him, so I just listened to it. I like some of their songs.
Dude, I would just binge albums. Like, Ringmaster, I think, was the first one I ever got.
Okay,
But, like, they're infectious, and they're all fairly much, or pretty much bops.
yeah,
But-
they've always been kind of cringy, but after Bang Pow Boom, they got even more cringy.
Yeah, I agree. The first 6 Joker card albums were their best work.
Yeah,
And even then, I would almost, I mean, this is sacrilege if anybody, like, over there heard me say it, but I think the Wraith is probably the worst of the 6th.
really.
Yeah.
Let me look at these.
Because like
albums.
Great Malenko is probably my favorite. Riddlebox is a lot of fun.
So we got, as far as the original ones go, Carnival of Carnage is the oldest sounding one out of all of them because it's like 90s, like rap. Like, but then you got, Ringmaster, then Riddlebox, then the Great Malenko. The Great Malenko is probably my favorite out of those.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Okay.
And, 4 should be... I can't think what 4 is, but 5 is the Jekyll Brothers, right?
Yeah, because 4 is Great Malenko.
Okay.
And then Amazing Jekyll Brothers is after that.
Okay.
And then you got the Bizarre albums, which those aren't like mainline albums.
No.
The Wraith was the next one.
Okay.
And then their next main album was The Tempest.
Damn.
Yeah. And then Bang Pa Boom. In Yo Face.
Something special.
And after that, I really haven't heard shit.
Huh.
So,
Yeah, I am kind of surprised that they don't even have like... They still kind of control a decent area of like the underground. It's surprising their staying power in that field. But like the fact that they don't have like that sort of respect is surprising. But I think it also has to do just not only the violence but the content, because a lot of it was talking like serial killers and stuff like that. There's
Yeah.
only one person who's really done well in that field, and that was Eminem.
yeah, he brought that to the mainstream.
Yeah, he was
Pretty
able
much.
to mix the horrorcore with like more like, not a-
accessible.
it was like a mix of East and West Coast kind of feel.
Kind of feel, yeah. And it was just more accessible sounding in general. Especially like when you get to like the Eminem show.
Oh yeah,
That's his easily, well, I wouldn't say his most, what was it, his most accessible album? Probably Recovery? As far as like a lot of
Commercially,
hits
yeah.
go, yeah.
yeah.
But Eminem show too, but yeah, Eminem brought that kind of vibe to the mainstream. So I can see why like people don't really credit ICP like that.
I mean, they had a problem with what Eminem was saying. Imagine what they would think about
ICP,
what-
yeah.
yeah. Like they weren't even popular and they were getting shit on the news.
Yep.
So,
Yep. They done because even Tech Nine gets more respect than they do.
oh yeah, but he's also not like as violent in his music most of the
He's
time.
not, and he's done stuff with like Lil Wayne,
Kendrick.
Eminem, Kendrick. He took
B.O.B..
Kendrick on tour before he got big.
That was when I saw him,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and it was weird though because he still opened for Kendrick.
He did?
Yeah, it was Summer Jam.
Oh,
Yeah.
wasn't that 2013 probably? Probably 2012. It was probably right around when Good Kid, Mad City
I think it
came
was
out.
right around 2013 because I took my sister. Like I didn't even really know who Kendrick was honestly at the time, so I left like halfway into a set. And now I'm like I fucking hate myself. But it was like right when they came out with like a couple months after Fragile came out.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so that was like 2012, 2013.
yeah, it was the day that Tech Nine's mom died.
Okay.
So that was a rough show,
Yeah.
but it was fun.
Fucking Tech Nine. I can't stand his fans either. They're all the same fucking
I know
build.
too many of them. You're not wrong.
Why is that? Why they have a very specific, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They have a very specific style of fan. But why? Is it the area they come from? Is it what they're talking about? Is it like what is it? I
That
don't
sounds
know.
charged.
It's not.
I don't know. Maybe it's somewhat down to like similar struggles with some people, but other than that, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know exactly
I know
what I'm talking
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know. It is a very specific aesthetic.
Yeah. Just look at The Gathering.
That's more diverse than that group of fans.
I don't know. I've seen,
Well, you have some people that are missing one tooth, and you have people that are missing the whole kit and caboodle.
but why is it that group of people? Like I don't get it.
No, I have no idea.
It's crazy. Like what, like just how certain people gravitate to certain things.
And most Kid Rock fans all look the same.
Similar to that.
I would venture to say a little different. We'll talk about it later.
You know what's ironic too?
Huh.
Is probably some ICP fans and like that kind of rap fan. They're probably racist too,
Some of them, it wouldn't surprise me.
which makes no sense.
Especially based off of a lot of their shit talking about like killing bigots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm just going to say this. This sounds
rap,
really
listen to
bad.
ICP.
You say that, but you... you know what? Fuck it.
What?
You say that, but then you also have to look at the Catholic Church.
What about the Catholic Church?
Values and the things that they do.
Oh, I'm very aware.
But yeah,
Yeah.
basically. So,
Yeah.
nothing makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
People will hold certain things to their chest so hard and then do the exact opposite all the time.
What happened to Tommy Lahren?
Fox News.
I don't know why this just popped in my head, but
I'm pretty sure she's still on Fox.
did she fall off?
I don't think so. If so, she got replaced with Kaylee McEnany.
I don't hear much about Tommy Lahren as much as I used to.
Wouldn't be surprised if she goes to work for what's his name, Tucker Carlson.
She's looking different.
How different?
She just don't. She looks a little different. Maybe because she's getting
she looks
older.
more like Paris Hilton now.
Yeah,
It's the tan.
I still want that fucking cameo of her calling me a racial slur.
Oh fuck! How much did that cost?
No, I think when I checked a couple years ago, the cameo was like $97.
That's not bad. If I would have known it cost that, I thought it'd be like $500.
Yeah.
I don't know why I would think it'd be.
Do you
that
think
much,
she would
but-
not do it?
Yes, 100% not
She-
do it. They got to protect their integrity because you can't take that video and
Well,
release
tell her
it.
I'm not going to release it.
What does that mean? You know how many people sign NDAs and still release shit? Look at Stormy Daniels with this whole Trump thing.
I have no intention or want to do that. I just want it for myself.
I mean, I know you do, but you can't trust people at all.
true. Yeah,
Dude,
it's true.
there's so many NDAs that have been signed and gone back on. That's why Vince McMahon got kicked out of the WWE. Because he was I'm basically sex trafficking this chick.
Really?
Offered her like $3 million, only ever paid her $1 million on the NDA, so she was able to break the NDA because of the $1 million payment. So I'll get. You know what? We'll go. That'll be our next podcast. We'll go into that for people who don't know about it.
The Vince McMahon fiasco.
It's dirty in more ways than one.
We even had men wrestlers accusing him of sexual assault.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
So the one I've heard of a couple, but the one was literally just to hurt him during the steroid trial.
Oh, okay.
So, but I think we're gonna probably end up wrapping this one up. Probably try not to go 2 hours on every episode. But thank you for watching the Super Thwack. Oh shit! I almost did it again.
Fuck, you basically did
I
it. That's
did.
the old name.
The Through the Lens. It's so hard. We did that for like 3 years.
We did.
The Through the Lens podcast. This was episode 118. This one was definitely more free flow. Went all over the place.
Well, we have a series, basically, that's called Abundance of Thoughts.
Yes, I forgot about that.
This is like the 6th one. I think there's 5 of them.
Something like that.
Yeah. So,
So yeah, if you don't mind, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Make sure to like, rate, subscribe, give us 5 stars and everything. It really helps us reach out to the viewers. We really appreciate you guys. We will talk to you later. Peace.
peace.